Hello, everyone. How are we feeling tonight? Can you hear just fine? Yes, beautiful, looking all the way around. Yes, all right, awesome. Well, welcome to all of you here at DW Richardson Park with us. Welcome to all of you who are joining us either via Zoom or via our Facebook Live. The first thing I want to say on behalf of the Northeast Business Association and 4-Leaf leadership is thank you. Thank you for coming as part of the community. Thank you to our candidates. I know this is a crazy time of year. Thank you for taking the time to be here with us. And thank you to all of our volunteers, all the people who brought food. Oh my goodness, this is just beautiful, right? So thank you for being involved. And thank you especially for being involved here tonight. For those of you who don't know me, my name is AJ Emery with 4-Leaf Leadership, where we don't leave success to luck. I am a strategy consultant. And basically what that means is I help businesses and individuals get the results that they want while also maintaining positive culture in the workplace or a positive work-life integration balance. Tonight, I am very honored to be your moderator. We have 90 minutes, 1.5 hours to hear from all of our candidates that are here tonight. Now, that might sound like a lot of time. We have 21 lovely candidates with us here tonight, or at least 19 for right now. We're supposed to have 21 tonight. That time will fly by. So I've been asked in as a neutral party to make sure that everyone here has the same amount of time. We are delighted to have this much interest in the event. And again, we have a lot of people to introduce you to. So it's my job to make sure that everyone sticks to the schedule. So I will announce an office. When I do that, the members of that office will come forward and I will tell you a little bit about what that office does. So that gives you a little bit more framework of what you really want to listen for and what you might want to be thinking of while you're listening to these candidates talk. So we're really just scratching the surface of local government here tonight, right? Scratching the surface. Each candidate will have 2 minutes to speak. They'll tell you why they're running, and then they'll be answering our big question of the evening, which is, what does success look like to you? So if you were elected to this position, how would you measure success? What would that look like? I will be holding up signs to let the candidates know when there is 30 seconds left, 10 seconds left, and when we are at the end. When we are at the end, I'll be letting candidates finish their thought for up to 5 seconds. After that 5 seconds, I'll be thanking the candidate for their time. You can applaud at that time if you choose to, and then we will move on to the next candidate. And we're all good with that? They're still good? Okay. Audience, these statements will go by fast. They will fly by. So make sure to really take focus on what our candidates are saying and think about sticking around afterwards. There are some candidates that will be able to stick around with us and continue the conversation. And if not, if the candidate that you wanted to talk to had to leave, we also have ways to get a hold of them, whether that's their email, which is on their literature. We also have those for them, or their social media or their website. We'll have lots of ways to continue that conversation. Most importantly, I want to thank you all in advance for being respectful to our candidates tonight. It is a big deal to put yourself out there and run for office. They're putting a lot of heart and a lot of energy into being in the community this way. So allowing each of them to be heard is going to be a very important part of tonight's success. Remember, it's only 2 minutes per person. So thank you all for being here tonight. And it's a great place to get started learning about or getting involved with local government. Are we ready to hear from our first candidates? All right, awesome. Enough of me talking. Let's hear from, let's see, our Kent County Prosecutor. Come on up. I believe we have one. Yes, thank you. All right, and the microphone is right here if you want to grab that. So as Kent County Prosecutor, The prosecuting attorney appears for the state or county in all criminal prosecutions in circuit court and district court. The prosecuting attorney shares jurisdiction with the Michigan Attorney General for any crime that is committed in Kent County but is independent of the state office. The prosecuting attorney is an elected official with a 4-year term chosen at the time of the presidential election. The prosecuting attorney's office is responsible for other legal functions, including keeping victims notified of case status, their right to participate, and to preserve their rights, providing information on juvenile offenders to the Kent Intermediate School District, and representing the county in forfeiture actions. Did we capture that relatively good? All right, it was from the website, so I hope it's good. All right, your 2 minutes begin right now.
Thank you. I really appreciate the opportunity to do this. This is the first event, I think for most of us, first event I've had this year to get out there and talk about why I'm running again. I was elected first time in 2016, and I guess the reason I'm running is I still feel I have work to do. She went off quite a litany of stuff. I think the biggest thing, and my kids always make fun of me, is under the Michigan court rules, a prosecutor is a minister of justice. And while we have a duty as a prosecutor to represent the victim zealously and make sure people are held accountable for the crimes they commit, we also have the equal responsibility to make sure that the defendants, the people accused, have a fair trial. We have to do everything above board, ethically and honestly. And I think, you know, I came from a tradition of Bill Forsyth, kind of drilled that in, and I try and drill that into my 37 of prosecutors that I work with. And it's not only the criminal. I mean, everybody thinks it's the criminal division that gets the news and the crimes that we do, but we also, as she described, we represent, we have a responsibility, a family division where we establish paternity and get child support payments set up. That's a function of the prosecutor's office. We have a juvenile division. We deal with juvenile crimes and juvenile neglect and delinquency. We have a prosecutors that are assigned to maybe terminate parental rights. So those are big things, big, you know, impactful decisions for any family, any person, any individual. And so we need to have a prosecutor and somebody who knows to do that in an ethical and above board manner. Why am I running again? Like I said, I have work to do. I think one of the primary things for any prosecutor's office is are we keeping a safe community? And so I think we've done that. If you look at some of the crimes we've done over the past 4 years, I've worked with the sheriff on the Pagel case, a 12-year-old cold case that we helped solve through the use of investigative subpoenas. Northeast side, we did the first grand jury since 2006, one-man grand jury, solving a number of crimes there. But I'm also doing other things in terms of a restorative justice program for juveniles. So I'm doing a broad bunch of stuff to really impact the community. So that's why I'm running again. I appreciate the time. Thanks.
We are going to Sheriff next. So bring on the Kent County Sheriff. The Kent County Sheriff's Department provides general law enforcement and correction operations to the community. Strategic goals include continue to control the cost of providing service at the jail, monitoring and providing for contractual law enforcement responsibilities, continuing to provide alternative means to report criminal incidents such as online or telephone reporting, develop statistical reporting with partner Township, providing a high visibility police patrol and law enforcement through investigation of criminal, civil, and traffic matters, maintaining the highest level of professionalism and service to the community, and ensuring the safety and security of the community by operating a correctional facility that is governed by applicable state and federal laws. So your 2 minutes begins now.
Is it on? Okay. Thank you for having me. I am LaJoye-Young, and I am your current Kent County Sheriff. I've been in the office for a couple years now, and I was appointed to fill a term when Sheriff Stelma retired. I'm very proud of the team at the Kent County Sheriff's Office. We have a great number of initiatives that are in place right now to serve the community, to make sure that we're responsive to the community, of the community, and for the community. And I think that we're doing a tremendous job, but it does definitely take a team. The team is 700 people strong. We have an $82 million budget. And this is a team that needs to be led by experience, by people who understand the intricacies of law enforcement, the intricacies of corrections. I have 31 years of experience with the Kent County Sheriff's Department, as well as military service and education supporting this role. And I think all of those are very crucial to being successful in this community and adapting to the dynamic needs that are presenting themselves every single day. We need to continue to be responsive to changes that the community is asking for, be responsive to the emergency needs that evolve within our community, and be responsible for the personal needs of the people who are entrusted in our care. We're going to continue to do that as the Kent County Sheriff's Office, and I'm going to continue to do that as your sheriff. Thank you.
Get to use my signs. We're going to move to Kent County Treasurer next. So bring on up our Kent, or do we have, is Jose here? Not here yet. Okay, we're going to come back to Jose. So Drain Commissioner Elaine, come on up. And Drain Commissioner. This was a fun one to research, so bear with me on this one. The County Drain Commissioner is elected to a 4-year term to perform a number of duties assigned by state law. The Office of the Drain Commissioner is responsible for the administration of the state drain code as it applies to the receipt of petitions for the establishment, improvement, or maintenance of over 536 miles of county drain, 356 water detention ponds in Kent County. Under the Subdivision Control Act, this office reviews stormwater plans for all plats developed within the county and maintains records on over 1,800 developments. Other duties include the administration of 19 court-established lake levels under the Lake Level Act, participation in the NPDES Phase 2 program, because we all know what that is, right? We're all aware. Okay, I don't have to explain that. Okay. Participation on lake improvement boards, maintenance of the GIS system as it pertains to county drains, and the resolution of citizen complaints and requests for service. Your 2 minutes begins now.
Thanks you. So I'm Elaine Isely, and I am running for Drain Commissioner. And to shorten all of that, the Drain Commissioner is responsible for stormwater management and controlling flooding throughout the county. That's basically what all that says. So I'm running for Drain Commissioner because that's what I do. For the last 15 years, I've been working on water resources management and stormwater policy issues. I have several years in at Grand Valley State University's Water Resources Institute, and I spent the last 7.5 years as the Director of Water Programs at the West Michigan Environmental Action Council. So I decided to do this because I love what I do. I'm really, truly passionate about stormwater, and I don't think I would have said that when I was in school, but I am now. It's so important. Stormwater runoff is the big, and flooding brings with it property damage. It brings with it health effects. This is really important stuff. And as we're seeing more rain events more often with more water, I think we need to have more expertise in this position that most of you may not even know exists. But the Drain Commissioner's role is really important because water is so critical to our infrastructure in Michigan. We need to start investing in infrastructure that will prevent water issues from happening, as opposed to investing in infrastructure that fixes water problems that we've already created. We need to teach people why it's important to help manage water on their property, and we need to keep in mind that there's everything that we do on the land will affect our waterways. So with that, I'll just share a little bit, since this is my first time running, so nobody knows who I am. I've been in Grand Rapids for 20 years. I came here as a young attorney. Actually, I know Chris, but I've lived in the city for most of that time. We just recently relocated to this part of town. I now live on 4 Mile with my family, my husband and my young son. And so I'm really passionate about serving the county here. So thank you very much for your time.
Thank you. Thank you. Next on our list, we are going to hear from the Kent County Commission, 1st District. And first on the list will be Deb Havens. So Deb, and then Ben, you can come up as well. All right, Kent County Commission. Commissioners are elected to 2-year terms from districts that are roughly equal in population. A chair and vice chair are elected at the first meeting of each new year by the commissioners. The chair appoints each commissioner to one of 2 standing committees. A commissioner's duty includes approving a mission statement for the county, adopting the annual county budget, raising the money to fund the county's operations by levying property taxes, setting fees, selling bonds, or borrowing, appointing county residents to serve on various county boards, commissions, and committees, which provide oversight for significant county services, selecting a county administrator or controller to supervise the day-to-day operations of county departments, determining the sites of county buildings, and purchasing or disposing of county-owned property and facilities, representing the county and managing its property and business by adopting rules, regulations, ordinances, and policies. Your time begins now.
Hi, I'm Deb Havens, and about 4 years ago, I discovered that I had a tumor on my thyroid, and I had it removed. But about the same time, the news was breaking about PFAS and PFAS contaminants on the water that I had been drinking for over 10 years, and that there might be a connection to thyroid issues. So I was very interested in finding out if I had been affected, and I contacted the Kent County Public Health Department to see if I could be tested, and I was told that it was not set up for PFAS testing. It was not equipped. That's when I got interested in the Kent County Board of Commissioners, because they fund the Kent County Public Health Department. And from that point, I got very interested in the decisions that they make. And from my involvement in activities and organizations here in Plainfield Township and Rockford, it became quite clear to me that there is a definite relationship between local issues and the resources that the county provides, particularly through meetings with school boards and township and city council meetings. So right now, it's clear that we have an issue with COVID-19. And we want to open our businesses, we want to open schools safely. And that certainly means that we're going to need supplies of testing and contact tracing. And that is going to be a countywide issue. We also really have to address the issue of bias in all of our institutions, and particularly justice. I have the experience, I have the time, I certainly have the skin in the game to do the job and to do it well. Thank you. And for all that extra information that I wasn't able to give you, there's some on the table, or electdebhavens.com. Thank you.
Well, hi, my name is Ben Greene. I am running for County Commission as well. I currently serve as a member of the Plainfield Township Board of Trustees. I've served since 2016. And I've been serving Plainfield Township and Rockford residents in one capacity or another for the better part of 10 years. Prior to serving on the Township Board, I served as a constituent relations person in Lansing while I was living here and commuting and representing you and learning your needs there. So, you know, I feel as if I've had a great experience at both now the local level and at the state level. And I think that's really prepared me well and set me up well, excuse me, to serve on the county level. I think that I agree with some of what Deb said in terms of the priorities of the county. We had an opportunity to see the PFAS situation up close and personal in Plainfield Township, and I think we learned a lot of valuable lessons. I think that public health and public infrastructure and our natural resources and that kind of thing really has come to the forefront, and I think appropriately so. As we have worked through now a pandemic in Kent County, the need for that kind of understanding and communication and compassion on those issues, I think, is critical. Success for me in this position, I think it looks a lot like it has during my time on the Township Board. One of my biggest priorities has been open communication, transparency, explaining our votes, explaining what we're doing, reaching out to people, meeting them where they are. And that's what I plan to do on the County Commission as well. I think we're overdue for that. I think there's a need for more of that. And I think it takes a new generation of leadership to achieve that. And that's why I am running. It's why I'm so passionate about it. And I am just thrilled for the opportunity to run and to be here. And I hope to earn your support. And I look forward to serving you on the County Commission if I'm lucky enough to do so. Thank you.
You candidates. All right. Do we have Jose? Is Jose here? No, for Kent County Treasurer? No. All right. Do we have everyone that we need for state representative? That would be representative. You can tell I talk, right? State representative Bill, Bryan, and Robert. Are you all here? No. All right. Come on up. Let's hear from our state representative candidates. So to start off, what is a state representative? Also referred to as a congressman or congresswoman, each representative is elected to a 2-year term serving the people of a specific congressional district. Among other duties, representatives introduce bills and resolutions, offer amendments, and serve on committees. The number of representatives with full voting rights is 435. The number of representatives per state is proportionate to population. To be elected, a representative must be at least 25, a United States citizen for at least 7 years, and an inhabitant of the state he or she represents. So hopefully you can check all those boxes.
I'm actually running for state representative, which is a little bit different.
Oh, is it?
Yes.
Well, see, this is why apparently I need to do research.
That's okay. I'm all of that at the state level.
Okay,
So
perfect.
just so it's clear, just the state of Michigan.
All right, awesome. So state legislature.
Yes.
This is very new for me too. I'll just throw that out there. All right, then we will give you your 2 minutes.
Thank
Introduce yourself and go ahead.
you. My name is Bill Saxton. I'm running to be the next state representative here for the 73rd district. To let you know a little bit about myself, I'm a former small business owner, software developer by trade, and an engineer. I am married and I have 3 young children, ages 3, 3, and 5, so pretty busy at home. The reason that I am running to be state representative is because, unfortunately, our state has below average educational outcomes. We have below average GDP growth. We have below average population growth. We're a stagnating state, and we shouldn't be. We have so many built-in advantages. We should not be a below average state. And one of the biggest reasons I feel for that is because we have failed to invest in our infrastructure. And that's not just physical infrastructure, our roads and bridges, but our educational infrastructure, our education system, which is our people infrastructure. To give you an example, I talked with a Comcast a representative a couple months ago, and he gave me this astounding fact. He said that they pay 40% more to maintain their trucks on the road for their service workers than they do in the neighboring state of Indiana. So these roads are not just affecting our pocketbooks, they're affecting the bottom line of our businesses. And of course, I mean, you have the example of, my friend Jen has, 3 kids, single mom, worked her tail off. They all went away to college, got degrees, and not a single one of them considered coming back here to Michigan because we did not give them the opportunities that they were looking forward to, they were looking for. So I want our state to be a destination for businesses and for our young people. And for that, we need a properly trained workforce. So to answer your question about what does success look next year when I'm in Lansing, it's going in a long-term roads funding solution and finding the problem solvers, getting past the partisanship, and finding Republicans and Democrats to work together to solve those issues. Only then will we become a destination state. I have 10 seconds left. If you want to learn more about me and my candidacy, please go to my website. It's very easy to remember. It's billinthehouse.com. Thank you.
Okay, my name's Bryan Posthumus. I'm running for state representative. I'm a 4th-generation farmer and small business owner, lifelong resident of Kent County. I started from scratch and built from scratch the largest farmer-owned and operated hop yard in the state of Michigan. I decided to run for state representative when our governor decided to make it a crime to go out and earn a paycheck. I felt that that West Michigan needed stronger leadership in Lansing in order to make sure that we had the ability to look at our side of the state from a different lens as what our governor is for as she's looking at it from Southeast Michigan. So that's why I decided to run. To answer your question as far as what does success look like, I think that what that comes down to is ensuring that Michigan gets back to work. Right now, I think we have around 22% unemployment rate, and we need somebody with business experience in Lansing to make sure that happens. Thanks a lot. That's all I have.
Hello, hello. All right, are you ready? All right, I'm Robert Regan, running for state representative again. It's my third time running. I took second place to Chris Affendoulis in 2014 and second place to Lynn Affendoulis in 2018. And I'm so glad I'm not running against another Affendoulis. Okay, real quick, I know I only have 2 minutes. Can anybody tell me when Ronald Reagan was born? What year? No? Can anyone tell me which president he was? What was that? All right. Well, you get the world famous Regan coffee mug anyway. That's the best coffee mug you will ever have. You will never have a better cup of coffee in your life. So enjoy that. I'm running because we have got to push back against big government. It's not just Democrats, it's not just Republicans, and it's not just our governor. I ran in 2014 and a message, no more taxes. I ran in 2018, same reason. We increased the roads tax, we increased the internet tax. We don't need more taxes because as Lansing gets bigger, the individual gets smaller. And if we're gonna make our state great again, we need to make sure that we make it attractive for individuals and businesses to come back to Michigan. As Lansing grows, your individual liberties and freedoms begin to shrink. I was very vocal about what happened. We had a very difficult situation with the COVID crisis. Nobody's denying that. But Grand Rapids and West Michigan is not Detroit. And that's why I took my Jeep and I led the West Michigan Trump Republican rally to Lansing to push back against the governor to say, hold on a sec, Gov. We know it's a serious problem. We know you have tough decisions to make. Treat each section of the state differently. We are not Detroit. Detroit has a serious problem. We can manage things better here on our own without you. If you can keep the liquor stores open, the abortion clinics open, and the marijuana places open, small business can stay open too. I'm Robert Regan, running for state representative. I hope I can earn your vote. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, let's the state. We talked about the county. Let's move into some townships. Yeah, we're going to hear next from our Plainfield Charter Township Supervisor candidates. So we've got 4. Y'all can all come up, and then I'll make it a little easier. Whoever gets to the microphone first gets to go first. It's on. Whoever wants to start. I think it'll be you. So let's see. The Township Supervisor. What is their role? They moderate the board and annual meetings. They are the chief assessing officer if they're certified. Secretary to Board of Review, Township's legal agent, must maintain records of Supervisor's office, responsible for tax allocation of the board budget, if applicable, develops the township budget, appoints commission members, may call special meetings, and may appoint a deputy. Did I get this one right? Okay, good. Fabulous. Score 1.
Good evening, everybody. I want to thank you for coming here tonight, okay? All right. My name is Gidget Groendyk. I'm running for Plainfield Township Supervisor. And the reason why I'm running for Supervisor is, a lot of people have that question, why am I running? I think of home. And when I think of home is what's inside the home. And when I think of what's inside the home is the people we care for. We provide safety, we provide shelter, and we provide support. We also go ahead and provide, we want to see them do better. In the same way it goes for the outside. You know, we play cards with our neighbors, our community, and that's what it's all about. Everybody working together, sharing and communicating and making the area that much better. Now, in my household, we have 5 generations of people who shared to the community. Let's start with my son. He's he just got out of the Army, and now he's working at let me see here. It's called the Idaho State Prison. My little granddaughter, who's 7 years old, she wants to become a lawyer. My father, he just passed away. He was a Vietnam vet. My mother, she worked at her grandfather's store since 1954, serving her community. And that success relies on integrity, honesty, and transparency. And that's what kind of goes in through these kind of roles right here. Now, I only have 30 seconds to tell you. I have a long list of education and job performance that qualify me for this position. However, my issues are as follows. For seniors, my main thing is, I got 10 seconds. Okay. Please go to my Facebook page and you will go ahead and see my stances on those 4 subjects. And please message me for taking a look at my education and job performance that qualifies me for this position. Thank you everybody for showing up today. Thank you for inviting me. Have a great night.
You can pass it on to the next person. Thank you, Gidget. All right. Your time begins now.
My name is Renee Bainbridge, and I've lived in Plainfield Township my entire life, graduating from Northview High School. My husband Bill and I have been married for 25 years, and our daughter is 24 years old and lives just a couple streets that way. We've lived for 25 years in 2 different houses on Harrington in Belmont that we both built. And so our street was actually the original ground zero for the PFAS discovery. And so right now our street is under construction, running municipal water. We have the whole house filtration system. We have the water deliveries. We're very, very familiar with what's going on with the PFAS situation in Plainfield Township. And I would like to continue the good work that they have going on with that. My husband Bill and I are also active members of the Fraternal Order of Police and the Harley Owners Group. And we're also very active members in our church new community. I would like to make a commitment to my own community that I will continue the great work Plainfield Township already has in motion. I make a commitment to you that I am approachable, reachable, and will go out of my way to make sure you are heard. What success looks like to me, first off, I really want to start by saying that I am not a politician. So I can't tell you what I'm going to do when I get in office. I'd more like to share with you what qualifications I bring to the table. So I bring with me a wealth of knowledge from various venues and multiple levels of government, county, state, and federal, having worked for Kent County for 31 years before retiring. So this combined creates the perfect roadmap for the supervisor. I really would like to establish solidarity between the board and the community, which to me would be huge because then it's not the board running the township, it is the community running the township. My office will be your kitchen table or a park or a coffee shop. My office will be the community. One needs to know the community in order to serve it. I am the only candidate with this role who actually gathered the signatures toward my nomination. So I will work hard for you. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Tom Coleman. Thank you for joining us tonight. I am running for Plainfield Supervisor as well. Let me tell you a little bit about myself. I've lived in the township for 42 years. Myself, my wife, and my 3 children have all graduated from Northview High School. We're blessed to have 5 grandchildren, the oldest of which is a senior at Northview this fall. So, entrenched in the community. I'm currently employed at TransNation Title Agency. Previous to that, I held different management positions in banking, and I spent about 10 years working as a deputy at the Sheriff's Department prior to that. I've also served the community for 5 years on 2 different boards at the township. I'm on the Public Safety Advisory Committee, and I'm also a member of the Planning Commission. In 2018, I was named the chair of the Planning Commission. So I'm running for this office because I feel as though my professional career, my volunteering endeavors at the township level, relationships I've made, just show the amount of dedication I have and the effort I'll put forth in this position. Success to me would look like delivering with the township board, the staff, and the community, the 4 items the community identified as most important to them. Those were the economic development of Plainfield Avenue, to maintain, protect our infrastructure and our natural resources, to improve the quality of life through access to our natural resources and our recreational opportunities, and then to enhance the identity of the township in the community and as a place of destination. So I ask for your vote on August 4th. Again, thank you very much for coming.
Hello. Hello. My name is Brent Fields. I'm running for Plainfield Township Supervisor. I'm 53 years old, married to Laura that came here tonight to support me. We've been married for 6 years. I have one son that's 24 that is on his own in Township, is a business person himself. I've been a business person for 35 years, started as a teenager in 1985. One of the things that excited me about potentially doing this and listening to Bob Holman at one of the meetings that I've been going to before the COVID is that qualifications wise, I've never done this before. I know a lot of people in the township as far as the offices. And one thing that Bob said that stuck with me and said, you know, okay, I can do this, which he said that they have a staff that does all the legwork as far as information and gathering, and they're more policy makers and decision makers. So I remember you saying that, and it stuck with me very much so. Again, with the business I have, I own a business called The Lawn Ranger. Been doing it since 1985. Just know a lot of people. Our work is right here. I know the people that live here. I talk to them, they talk to me. My customers have become my friends. Got some people here, Mr. McAvoy that's here tonight. Thank you for letting me put the sign in your yard. Again, success, I'm not sure what that would be in the end if I was able to have that position. I certainly would like to try to understand more about a building called the old Whitmarks building and see if maybe I can have something to do with my success story saying that I made that go away. That would be one thing I'd really love to brag about. Thank you for listening to me.
Y'all are making this so easy. Some of y'all aren't even taking your whole 2 minutes. This is going glowingly. Thank you, candidates. This is beautiful. All right. So we've heard from our supervisor candidates from Plainfield Charter Township. We will not be hearing from the township clerk candidates tonight, but we will be hearing from a township treasurer candidate. And you're already standing. You're ready to go. Perfect. I will hand you the mic.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is William F. Brinkman Jr., and I am currently the treasurer of Plainfield Charter Township. During the last 8 years, we have dealt with the PFAS water crisis, and we are very happy with the settlement we received and the progress we are making with correcting the major problem. We're also very happy with the progress we have made with our Premier and Grand River parks and our walking trails. My life has always seemed to have been one of service. To my family, my wife Barbara, 58 years, and 4 children, 11 grandchildren, 9 great-grandchildren, and the 10th great-grandchild on the way in August. We moved to Rockford in 1980. All our children have graduated from Rockford. To my church, Messiah Lutheran Church, where I am currently serving as an elder and usher. To my country, enlisted in the Army at the beginning of the Korean War and served for 12 years. Honorably discharged as a captain. My last command was a tank company as a company commander of the 22 M48 tanks. In 1962, while working for Martin Marietta, I was assigned to the Gemini vehicle space launching team as the co-chairman of the Zero Defects Quality Control Program, and had the opportunity to work with all of the Gemini astronauts. Got to be good friends with Gus Grissom. To my community as Township Treasurer and Precinct 11 Republican Delegate for 8 years, it is significant to mention that I graduated from the University of Arizona with a BS degree in accounting, and a master's degree in business administration in 4 years. Well, I guess I'll have to end that. The only thing I would like to say is this. I am the oldest public treasurer in the state of Michigan, as Michigan Municipal Treasurers Association says. I'm a Michigan certified public treasurer. I'm a certified public funds investment manager. And with your help, to get me reelected this year, it's very possible that we can put Plainfield Township on the map with having the oldest public treasurer in the United States and Canada. Thank you, folks.
Love it. Love it. Thank you. Thank you.
By the way, I'll be 90 years old.
Love it. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Next up, we have the Plainfield Charter Township Trustees. And a trustee is a township legislator required to vote on all issues. They're responsible for the town's fiduciary health, and other duties are assigned by the board. So whoever wants to come up and grab the microphone first gets to go first for Plainfield Charter Township trustee candidates.
Thank you all. I have been working for the last 12 years having government conversations. Every month I moderate every level of government, federal, county, city, and I have learned through that conversation the importance of local government. People have always said to me, why don't you run for something? And I really wanted to learn how this wonderful process goes. So I've heard from senators, I've heard from congressmen, I've asked them questions, I've put them on their toes. And what I've learned again is how important local government is to this country. So I decided this is the time. So I'm stepping in, I'm running for trustee of an incredible, incredible area called Plainfield Township. Through my experiences, what I learned, first of all, and is at the top of my agenda every month when we moderate, is deficit. This country is seeing an incredible deficit, but our cities are as well. I worked with the city of Wyoming on a committee that projected how they're going to survive in the future because it doesn't look good for our local cities. I also joined the committee of Reimagine Plainfield Reimagined. As we look at this area and say, how can we make this a place of destination, but also a thoroughfare, a place where we can go through and be proud as well. Currently, I am self-employed. I spent 25 years in the corporate world. I'm a domestic mediator, so I deal with conflict a lot. I also work with people going through the trauma, yes, the trauma of divorce. So I would be honored to be elected as your trustee for Plainfield Township. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Jack Hagedorn. I'm running for my 4th term as trustee in Plainfield Township. I have a very good friend who last October told me he had terminal cancer. And that hurt me very badly. But the thing that it made me think again about my life is that it's very important for me to finish well. He's 5 years younger than I am. And that's the reason that I continue to run for office. Here recently, there was a citizen in Plainfield Township who had a tree that was coming down because of a strong wind, and it was right over top of the electric lines. And she called me and she said, what can I do? It happened to be in the right of way, and I called the county road commission, and they went and took the tree down for her. During the PFAS problem, I spent I don't know how many hours with one-on-one coffees with people, listening to them and their concerns, and they're trying to reassure them. As a result, we on the board of Plainfield Township ended up passing a $500,000 resolution that would get the engineering done for the piping for PFAS long before the settlement of Wolverine Worldwide. And I guess I have 30 seconds left. So recently, I proposed and the board accepted a relaxation of the outdoor parking and the restaurant seating ordinance so that the restaurants could have outside seating in their parking lots. And the board passed that, and the township got behind that, and now they can make a better go of it. Thanks.
My name is Susan Morrow, and I'm a candidate for a re-election as a trustee for Plainfield Township. I've served 1 year as trustee. They asked us to tell a little bit about our background, and I think one of the most interesting things in my background is that I have a degree in education, and my first 2 years of teaching were in Yalova, Turkey, when my husband was assigned there with the United States Air Force. I taught for 18 years, predominantly working with adults getting their high school diplomas. And then in 1984, I think I had a midlife crisis. And I stopped the teaching and decided to run for public office. I grew up in a political family, so I was aware of the commitment that I was making. Plainfield Township has a reputation for being fiscally very conservative, and I fit that very, very well. We have an extraordinary staff right now. And also, I find that at Plainfield Township, when we do not have the answers to things such as PFAS, we quickly turn to quality professionals to help us. I brought you a treat tonight. Could you please hold these? Here's a little jar, a little sample of the granulated active carbon that is now filtering all the water in Plainfield Township. And if you come over to my table when we're done, you can check this out and grab some lemonade too. As a future, there are two big projects that are still on the table. One is the construction of a new community center to meet the needs of the community. And one thing in particular is an indoor walking track that would be available all during the daytime. And the other thing is to continue with our project of reimagining Plainfield Avenue. So I would appreciate your vote, and come have some lemonade. Thank you.
Well, my name is Todd Shorley. I am running for township trustee as well. I moved to the township in 2016. I got a young family here, my fiance and I. We love it here. Plainfield offers a lot of potential that a lot of areas don't have. That's why we're here. One of the reasons I'm running is because I see that potential and I want to go after it. You know, Sue spoke on conservative spending in the township. I think we can do even better than that. I think there's been a lot of votes that have passed or been looked into that could have been better investigated. And we need to protect the taxpayer in the township. That's why I'm involved. I've made a career in running multi-million-dollar construction projects with FEMA and DOD, large loss mitigation, damaged assets. I've managed budgets over $100 million with teams over 500 people. I can take my conservative spending habits, my aggressive management style, bring that to the township and help us grow where we're at while increasing revenue to the township to avoid fiscal exposure to the residents. That's my main goal.
Thank you so much, trustee candidates. All right, let's move into Grand Rapids Charter Township trustee candidates. Come on up. Same position, different area. So come on down. We might only have one. I think no, two. Okay. I was looking at my check marks. Okay, great. Whoever wants to go first. Ladies first. All right, perfect. Is that better?
There we go. My name is Elizabeth Helminski, and I'm running for Grand Rapids Township trustee. I'm a proud West Michigander, born and raised, and my career led me to live all over the country, but I moved back to West Michigan to be closer to my family and help my mom as she was fighting and recovering from cancer. It reopened my eyes to how special it is here. And so my husband and I decided to lay down our roots, and we bought our forever home in Grand Rapids Township. I was raised to believe that I have a moral and civic duty to serve my community. So as we settled into our new home, I was inspired to run for local office, believing it was the best way I can serve my neighbors. I hope to bring my senses of fierce loyalty, strong work ethic, and my over 20 years of practical business experience to bring a new voice to the Township Board, and to foster a deeper sense of community pride by increasing transparency and accountability within the local government. As for what will mean success to me, success means that residents feel heard and that they have a say in what's happening in the township. For me, I'd like to prioritize being an accessible leader to be able to foster community dialogue, as well as to proactively seek feedback from residents so I can be sure I know what's important to the community. I've outlined some initiatives such as holding monthly coffee hours and surveying residents for direct feedback. As well, I'd like to work on diversifying the voices that are making governing decisions by creating an open application process for committee and commission appointment. I also would like to partner with some community organizations who can help amplify marginalized voices to make sure that we're meeting the needs of all of the residents in the township. Thank you for your time.
Good evening, everybody. I'm Phil Yeiter. I'm running for re-election to the Grand Rapids Charter Township Board as trustee for a second term. Much like some of those before me, I feel like I still have more to give and more service to have had. I grew up in Plainfield Township, come from a family of service, Kent County Sheriff Department. My father recently retired from. I served in scouting, got my Eagle Scout right here under this pavilion. Joined the Army after graduating from Northview High School, moved back here with my family and live off the 4 mile and 3 mile area now. And success to me is exactly what the township has done over the years and continues to do, which is maintain our parks and rec area, maintain our trails, continue to make investments into our infrastructure, new fire departments, in a responsible manner that doesn't build debt, that doesn't take on more than we can handle at a time. I think we have an important few years ahead of us as we look at the impact that COVID has had on the state and the revenue sharing that trickles down to the townships. So it behooves us to continue our fiduciary responsibility to the taxpayer, maintaining that smart planning like we've done, and continuing to partner with other communities that we have. Grand Rapids Township doesn't do things alone. We don't pave our roads without the help of the county commission. We don't work on our trail system without the help of the city. We don't network it to be able to be connected to Ada and Cascade and Grand Rapids and Plainfield without working with all sides and all groups. So that's my pledge as a township trustee that I'll continue to do, and I look forward to doing over the next 4 years.
Thank you, candidates. Do we have any candidates that are with us that did not get a chance to speak yet tonight? No? All right, fabulous. Everyone, please give a big round of applause to our candidates one more time. I couldn't imagine this going any smoother than it did. You were all fabulous. You now have a unique opportunity to spend some time with these candidates, asking some questions, getting to know them on a little bit more of a personal level if you don't already. If you are joining us via Zoom or via Facebook Live, please reach out to these candidates, follow them on social media, go to their website, send emails, call. This is the way that we actually get the ball moving in the way that we want to and have our voices heard, as many of you mentioned is part of your success story. Thank you to our volunteers. If you volunteered tonight, could you please stand up? If you brought food, if you helped with Zoom, if you just helped us get the space, big round of applause for all of these people. We appreciate it so very much. With that, that is the end of our programming. We can now mingle as safely as you may choose. Thank you all for a wonderful evening. Good night.